For the last couple of months, I've been talking with members of Producer Grind and asking myself, what's the next steps for Producer Grind? I want to keep pushing the creative standard that we hold with our kits, but I also been thinking about what's the next step to keep providing more and more to the community like we've been doing for the last couple of years. And this led to me thinking about something we used to do a long time ago, which I thought this is the perfect time to bring it back. And those are our industry collab kits. See, we already provide podcasts from industry producers all the way from Metro Boomin to Sunny Digital to Zaytoven to Boy Wonder to Hitmaker. We provide you with hundreds and hundreds of tutorials that we have on our Team Producer Grind channels. We give you tons of live streams, tons of social media content, and tons of information on top of sound kits. But what if you was to actually get the sounds from these industry guys that you listen to every day, get inspiration from, get tips from every day? And who would not be a better fit than Macshooter, who produced for Future, Quavo, Lil Durk, Polo G, Busta Rhymes, Young Thug, Rich Amiri, G Herbo. I can name tons of other artists. You see, now you have no excuse to why you can't step up your music production, your networking skills, and just overall your whole career as a producer with the tools that we're providing. So I want to present to you PG times Macshoooter Shooter Artist Pack. This is a huge pack, but not just full of melodies. See, Macshooter, he's a sample maker himself. Most of his placements come from making samples. He does have a couple placements from doing drums too, but we really wanted to focus on this kit to give you the full package. Not just providing you with a drum kit and melodies to cook up with, but also provide you with the best tools to help you make better samples and also increase your workflow to making better samples and just overall beats. So what's all in this pack? Well, first we have this super crazy folder called Creative Expressions. This is full of accents, phrases, textures, and like mini little starter loops. This all comes from expensive gear. If you've been watching our content on our YouTube channel, you've been seeing all the stuff that Mac been using to cook up, from synths to crazy pedals like the Mood pedal and the Thermae. And that's exactly where these sounds come from within this folder. We have the Prophet 10 and the Rev 2 folder, which are two crazy fire synths that people like Des Wright, Q Beats, and a lot more popular sample makers use. We also have folders in here from pedals like the Mood pedal and just the accent and texture folder. I'm gonna go ahead and play some of the sounds in here. Bro, this right here is fire. This is already a loop. I could just loop this and put drums on this. But these already sound like some crazy, crazy samples. That's fire. Do you hear the movement in that sample? That joint's crazy. Ooh. Bro, I'm literally just playing around in this folder and I already hear a ton of melodies that I could make just off of this Creative Expressions folder alone. Let's go through some of these sounds that come from this Prophet 10 and Prophet Rev 2. Bro, I'm so high. I already cook up with this pack right now, literally just listening to these sounds. And one thing I want to know is, obviously, these are 100% royalty free. You could use these as starters. You could use these to layer on top of a starter you already have. You could use these as textures. You literally have full creativity with these Creative Expressions. You can use them from anything, and you don't have to worry about any splits, pub, or any of that, because all this is 100% royalty free. Now let's get into this last folder, into this Creative Expressions kit, and listen to these textures. I already know he used the guitar pedal when he made that one. Now that Creative Expressions folder itself already had a ton of sounds in it, but we also want to provide you the pedal shot collection. All the sounds in this folder right here comes from straight pedals, and they're crazy. So you get some more accents, some more phrases, and some more textures. Let me go ahead and play a couple of phrases for you. Now I know how these three phrases I just played came in order, and that's because this is a whole progression. You could mix these up and kind of just play with them. So maybe I'll start with this second one. I'm just randomly selecting stuff and it already sounds fire. I could have recorded that in the editing and just made a whole loop off of that one. Let me go ahead and just play a couple of accents out of this pedal shot collection for you too. Bro, these melodies are so great for making samples like Q Beats, Frank Dukes, Des Wright, Travis, Future. Any type of hip hop artist will hop on melodies like these. And that's why it was so important for us to make sure we get this pack out with Macshooter, because he's one of the most popular sample makers in the industry right now. And now you got all his sounds. So what's next in this kit? You have a whole bunch of phrases, you have a whole bunch of accents, starters, whatever you want to call it. But we also want to offer you a MIDI collection. So we got a whole bunch of MIDIs in here that are 100% royalty free. But then on top of that, you know, we had to add a little bonus in there. So we have an analog lab bank that's curated by Macshooter himself. And when I tell you the sounds in here are crazy, bro, let me go ahead and show you. The first preset I want to play for you is called Evolved. And this is probably my favorite preset right now because of the textures. This is what it sounds like. That joint sound fire. I'm gonna play this other one called SQ. I already hear a whole R&B beat in my head just off of that MIDI alone. Let me go ahead and switch up another MIDI and another preset. That joint sound fire. Woo! Now you got 50 Analog Lab presets and all of them are fire. And what's so crazy about this MIDI, I already hear the beat in my head. And that brings me to the next folder. You know we had to hook you up with drums, but we wanted to take it the next step. I wanted Mac to actually run these drums through his pedals and give it some crazy processing. So what we came up with is the modulated drum kit collection. That consists of 808s, claps, hi-hats, kicks, open hats, percussions, rim shots, and snares. Plus on top of that, we wanted to give you a hi-hat loop and MIDI collection that contains hi-hat loops and the hi-hat MIDI. So you could either use the loop or the MIDI. Like I said, full creative control. And my favorite part, the drum kit collection. Bro, you hear the bounce on that? Ooh. That's bounce, that's pockets. Now what if you don't want the kick? Well, that's cool, because if you look below here, all you gotta do is take the stems without the kick. Let me go ahead and take this melody to the next step and just show y'all what these 808s talking about. Bro, this kit is crazy, bro. And just to add a little bit more sprinkle on top, we provided you with a percussion loop collection folder. Kind of like this one right here. So let me kind of throw this in the little beat that we just made. Like I said, it's that easy. So now let's get into the next collection, which is also my favorite. If you know me, you know I love vocals. And one thing I wanted Mac to really add in here was a whole bunch of vocals, because vocal samples are just so popular right now. I know you hear all the Lil Baby songs with the crazy vocal samples in it, ride wave songs, sample makers like Nico Baran and others that love using vocals. We wanted to give y'all that same taste in this pack and make it 100% royalty free. What I do for you, can you do for me? If you fall, I won't be with you. Those vocals sound crazy and they're already ready to go. Now let's get into the folder you've probably been waiting for, and that's the melody collection, One thing I want to note is we made the way you could use these melodies so much easier. In the past, we used to have a stem folder. And the thing about the stem folder is some producers, they don't like to use melodies. They like to blend in stems with other stems or blend in stems with what they already making inside their project. So we wanted to provide all the melodies and stems in one folder so it makes it that much easier and it makes it more workflow efficient to just cook up and go ahead and bounce off of ideas. So let's get into some of my favorite melodies in this pack. Ooh, that melody's crazy. Okay, so what if I don't want the bass? Well, the stems are right below it, so take the sample without the bass. And as I say again, it's that easy. We wanted to find the next step on how we could provide to our producer community. And like I said, who wouldn't be the better fit than Macshooter? You have no excuse. All the tools are there. All you have to do is get this kit down below.